Okay, so this is part 2 of the beanie class. This is, I'm going to show you now, I've got the height for my beanie. If you look here, I'm like 8¼ inches, 3/4 inches, sorry, which is the height for a medium adult beanie. Now I'm going to show you how I do the decrease. I've already started on my decrease, but I'm going to show you. Might just pull that last stitch back because it was a bit stretched. And then I'm going to show you. So here's a decrease. So if you look here, you can see this is a double crochet and this is a single. So I'm doing a single here and a double here, but I'm joining them to be one. So I'm going into that stitch, no yarn over, and I'm doing as if I was starting a single crochet, but then I stop when I get to that stage, and then I yarn over, go into the next stitch as if I'm doing a double, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then with 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through 3. So again, I will show you, this is a double here. So I want to put a single here and a double crochet here. So I'm going to insert my hook and pull up a loop, yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 3. So if you see at the bottom, this one's a bit loose, I might redo it, but you can see at the bottom I've got 2 stitches here, but at the top I've only got 1. So I'm doing a decrease. I'll show you again. So I go into my stitch as a single crochet, yarn over into my next stitch as if a double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. So keep doing the same. And that is turning 2 stitches into 1 using the same pattern that we've been using. Sorry, I just got stuck then. And this, oops, that one should not have come off. This is decreasing. I'll keep going until I get back to my stitch marker, decreasing. Sorry, I finished the stitch. It's very hard to remember not to yarn over when you're so used to doing it. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2. That's the part of the double crochet finished. This is, well, half finished, and this is your single crochet half finished. And then you yarn over and pull through all of them, and that finishes it off and combines them. So I've got 2 stitches left. So again, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, half do the double crochet, and then the single, and it's combined. And then I'm going to slip stitch where my stitch marker is to complete that round. And you can see it's starting to pull my beanie in. It's starting to come in at the top. I'm going to decrease again on the next row. So I'll show you again. Put my hook back in there. Now I'm going to take my stitch marker out just for a second, and I'm going to chain 1. That doesn't count as a stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet, half do it, yarn over, half do my double crochet, and then yarn over through all of those. And then I'm going to put my stitch marker back into here. That is my first stitch made. And I'm going to keep going around. So single, double, combined, decrease. This is called a decrease. I'm going to keep doing this all the way around again on this row, and I will come back once I get to the end. Okay, I'm just coming around. I just decided as I was doing it that I didn't like the look of the single double decrease. It was just leaving too big of a gap. So I've just decided to do half double crochet decrease, which I'll show you now is not leaving such a big gap. So I've only got a couple of more stitches left for this round. So I'm just going yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all of them. Just feel like it's closing it off a bit nicer. I'll show you in a second. See, now I'm nearly all the way in on my beanie. When I turn it in the other way, you'll be able to see that you can't really notice that part of the pattern changing. Now you can keep doing your decrease, or you can stop here and decrease with a needle and thread. I'm still going to decrease mine to close it up by crocheting, just because I can do it that way faster. So I'm going to put my hook back into here, going to take my stitch marker out now, and I'm just going to keep decreasing in the round. It's not going to matter now to mark my spot, because I'm going to be almost finished. I'll be finished after this round, so I don't need to mark my spot anymore. I just keep going like this to close it up. And a couple more stitches left. Oops, I only picked up one of those. So essentially you're just keeping on going until your little hole is closed. And pulling it through all of those, like so. Now I'm nearly done. As you go around, it gets a little bit tighter to do, which is normal. And then do this last one here. And then I will leave a tail and just go around that a couple of times to close up that tiny little hole. And then I will sew a button on and put my pom-pom on. So when you turn your beanie the right way, it will sit like this. Nice. Hang on, I will show you. I probably should have it on a different view. Or can you see? I think you can see that whole thing there. If I do that, is that better? There you go. You can see the whole beanie now. And then I will sew a button on the inside and put a pom-pom on there. I will do that and come back and show you. Now I did have a request to show how to do it without decreasing. Now if you wanted to do, if you had your beanie like this and you just wanted to sew along there, I haven't actually finished this one yet, so I'm not going to do it, but I'm just going to talk you through it for Julie, who wanted to see how to do it. So to make the cat ear beanie, you could just sew along there inside out. So that's the wrong side. I would turn it inside out, sew across here, and then you would have a cute little cat ear beanie. Turn it in the right way. If you were doing this to the height that you wanted, you would keep going, and then what you would do is it would be beneficial if I'd finished the row, but you would just get, imagine I finished this row. I'll zoom back in. You would get a long tail. You probably want like 30 or 40 centimeters of tail on your yarn, and you're going to, with a darning needle, you would sew in and out like this all the way around with your tail. If you can see what I'm doing, I'm just going front to back like so with the needle, Hopefully that's making sense. And then when you pulled it tight, it pulls your beanie in and you gather it. This green one here is done using that method. So when you pull it in, it sits like this on the top, and you just literally just sewing it all the way around, and then you pull it tight and it will gather in at the top like this. And you would just do the same. So you button on the inside in here, so a button in there, and then you put your pom-pom on through the outside and connect it to the button. I will do that with this one. I'll get a button and sew it on, and then I will show you. Okay, I've cut my yarn off. My hat is inside out, and I am just going to weave this end in to pull. See this little gap? I just want to pull it tighter. So this is what you would do with the other beanie style. If you wanted to pull it in from a rectangle, you would sew it in the way I'm sewing it in now. And then as you see, when you pull it tight, it pulls right in. So see, I've got a little gap there. If I pull that nice and tight, the gap closes up. Now I've got this big chunky button here that I'm going to sew on to the inside of this hat. This just means I can make my pom-pom removable. If I'm having a non-pom-pom sort of day, I will take the pom-pom off my beanie. Or maybe I feel like a pom-pom today, so I will put it on. You could also change the look of your beanie by getting different coloured pom-poms. Most of the ones that they sell, these are the ones I have are just ones I bought online. You can buy them from Spotlight. I'm sure there's loads of craft places that have pom-poms, and mostly they will have a little bit of elastic on them, so you can just button them on and off. I will show you once I get to that stage how they work. Or you can always go old school and make your own pom-pom, which are very cute. I just wish that 46-year-old me could channel first grade me and remember how to do them, but every time I've tried, they've been unsuccessful and the yarn all falls apart. I don't really remember them being that hard as a kid to make, but seem to have lost the talent as an adult. All right, now I'm going to just want to make sure that this button is really secured on, because you are going to be pulling and tugging on it when you put your pom-pom on. So I'm just going through there a few times, just with the tail of the beanie as well, just to make sure it's really connected well. That's pretty solid. I think I am happy with that. She's not going anywhere. I will just tie this off by going around a few times. I'm going to do one of those ones around the button, and then put a little knot in it. And that's just to make sure that it's nice and secure. Not that it's very hard to replace the button if it comes off, but it's always good to do the job right the first time. And then I'm going to cut that off, move that out of the way, turn my beanie in the correct way, and then you will be able to see my pom-pom here has this little elastic loop, which is very handy. So I can just feed that through here. I might need my crochet hook, I think, to actually pull it through a little gap. And then once you've pulled it through, you just wish to go like that and pop it around your beanie, your button, I beg your pardon. And then there we have one cute, I will zoom out, sorry, so you can see that. one cute little beanie in adult size. You can make it a bit shorter and flip the ribbing up on it and wear it like that, or you can make it down. I actually like my beanies a little bit slouchy, so I will wear it like that, but it is up to you. And based on the size and the height that you made, which is how you wear it. Anyway, thank you.